Hey there, sharp minds and curious souls. Ever wondered why that brilliant colleague of yours made such an obvious blunder? Or why that genius inventor invested millions in a doomed project? Maybe you've caught yourself making a facepalm-worthy mistake and thought, how could I be so stupid? Well, you're not alone, and there's a lot more to this phenomenon than meets the eye. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another video telling me I'm not as smart as I think I am. But hold on. This isn't about putting anyone down. In fact, understanding the illusion of expertise can be incredibly empowering. It'll help you make better decisions, improve your critical thinking, and maybe even boost your humility, which, ironically, is a key trait of true experts. So, what's coming up? We'll delve into cognitive biases that trick even the brightest minds, examine how overconfidence can lead to spectacular failures, and look at strategies for cultivating genuine expertise. We'll also touch on the Dunning-Kruger effect, the curse of knowledge, and why sometimes less information can actually be more valuable than more. Let's kick things off with a quote from the great Socrates. "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Pretty ironic coming from one of history's greatest philosophers, right? But there's profound truth in those words, and they set the stage perfectly for our deep dive into the illusion of expertise. Picture this. It's 1995, and Garry Kasparov, the world chess champion, is about to face off against IBM's Deep Blue computer. Kasparov, confident in his unparalleled chess expertise, declared, "I could win even if I gave the computer odds of a knight." Fast forward to 1997, and Deep Blue defeated Kasparov in a 6-game match. The chess world was shocked. How could the greatest human player lose to a machine? This story illustrates a crucial point. Expertise, while valuable, can sometimes blind us to our own limitations. Kasparov's confidence in his abilities, built on years of success, led him to underestimate the rapidly evolving capabilities of artificial intelligence. It's a prime example of how even undeniable expertise in one area doesn't guarantee infallibility. But let's not pick on Kasparov too much. We're all susceptible to this kind of thinking. In fact, psychological studies have shown that the more knowledgeable we become in a field, the more likely we are to overestimate our abilities. This phenomenon is known as the illusion of explanatory depth. In a fascinating study by Leonid Rosenblatt and Frank Keel, participants were asked to rate their understanding of how everyday objects work, like toilets or zippers. Initially, people felt pretty confident in their knowledge. But when asked to explain these mechanisms in detail, their confidence plummeted. Turns out, most of us know far less than we think we do about even the most common things in our lives. Now, you might be wondering, if smart people are so prone to mistakes, why bother trying to become an expert at all? Great question. The truth is, expertise is incredibly valuable. The problem arises when we let our expertise convince us that we're infallible, or that our knowledge in one area translates to expertise in another. Take the case of Dr. Linus Pauling, a brilliant chemist who won 2 Nobel Prizes. Despite his undeniable genius in chemistry, Pauling became convinced that high doses of vitamin C could cure cancer and the common cold. He championed this idea for years, even in the face of mounting evidence to the contrary. Pauling's story is a stark reminder that expertise in one field doesn't automatically translate to others. But don't despair. Understanding these pitfalls can actually make us smarter and more effective. Let's look at some strategies for cultivating true expertise while avoiding its illusions. First up, embrace uncertainty. Real experts know the limits of their knowledge and are comfortable saying, "I don't know." In fact, a study by Philip Tetlock found that experts who were more uncertain in their predictions tended to be more accurate over time. So next time you're tempted to make a confident prediction outside your area of expertise, try adding a healthy dose of "I'm not sure, but..." Second, practice intellectual humility. This doesn't mean downplaying your skills or knowledge, but rather being open to new information and willing to change your mind. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that intellectual humility was associated with better decision-making and information evaluation skills. Third, beware of the curse of knowledge. Once we know something, it's hard to imagine not knowing it. This can make it difficult for experts to effectively communicate with novices or to spot simple solutions to complex problems. To combat this, try explaining your ideas to someone completely unfamiliar with your field. If they can't understand you, you might need to rethink your approach. Fourth, cultivate a growth mindset. Carol Dweck's research on mindset shows that people who believe their abilities can be developed through hard work and learning. A growth mindset tend to achieve more than those who believe their talents are fixed. This approach can help you stay curious and open to new information, even as you develop expertise. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the Dunning-Kruger effect. This cognitive bias, named after psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, suggests that people with limited knowledge or expertise in a given domain tend to overestimate their abilities. In other words, a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. But here's the twist. The Dunning-Kruger effect doesn't just affect novices. As we gain knowledge, we often go through a valley of despair, where we realize how much we don't know. Then, as we become true experts, our confidence rises again. But hopefully this time it's tempered with the wisdom of experience. So, how can we use this knowledge to our advantage? One approach is to actively seek out diverse perspectives. Surround yourself with people who have different areas of expertise. Not only will this help you learn new things, but it'll also remind you of the vast amount of knowledge out there that you don't possess. Another powerful technique is to practice steel-manning, opposing arguments. Instead of looking for flaws in ideas you disagree with, try to make the strongest possible case for them. This exercise can help you overcome your own biases and deepen your understanding of complex issues. Let's take a moment to appreciate the irony here. We're talking about the dangers of overconfidence and the illusion of expertise in a video that's, well, presenting itself as pretty authoritative on the subject. So let me be clear. I'm not immune to these biases either. The goal isn't to eliminate them entirely, that's probably impossible, but to be aware of them and work to mitigate their effects. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I apply it in real life? Excellent question. Let's look at some practical scenarios. Imagine you're in a meeting at work, and someone proposes an idea that you're sure won't work. Your first instinct might be to shut it down immediately. But what if instead you ask questions to better understand their perspective? You might discover angles you hadn't considered, or at the very least, you'll gain insight into your colleagues' thinking. Or consider a heated political debate with a friend. Instead of trying to prove them wrong, what if you approach the conversation with genuine curiosity? Try saying something like, "That's an interesting point. I've never thought about it that way before. Can you tell me more about how you came to that conclusion?" You might not change your mind, but you'll likely learn something new and maybe even strengthen your relationship. Here's another scenario. You're faced with a complex problem in your field of expertise. Before diving into complicated solutions, try explaining the problem to someone outside your field. Their naive questions might lead you to simpler, more elegant solutions you'd overlooked. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate confidence or expertise. Both are incredibly valuable. The aim is to cultivate a balanced approach that combines confidence with humility, knowledge with curiosity. As we wrap up, let's revisit that Socrates quote, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Perhaps a modern update might be, "True wisdom is knowing how much you don't know and being excited to learn more." Even Einstein got things wrong sometimes. In fact, he spent the latter part of his career pursuing a unified field theory that turned out to be a dead end. But you know what? That's okay. Making mistakes, questioning our assumptions, and continuously learning, that's how we grow. That's how we innovate. That's how we push the boundaries of human knowledge. As you go about your day, keep an eye out for instances of the illusion of expertise. In others, yes, but especially in yourself. Embrace the discomfort of uncertainty. Revel in the joy of discovery. And never stop questioning, learning, and growing. Thanks for sticking with me through this journey into the fascinating world of human cognition. If you've enjoyed this deep dive, why not share it with that smart friend who could use a gentle reminder about the dangers of overconfidence? Or better yet, start a conversation about it. You might be surprised at what you learn. Until next time, stay curious, stay humble, and keep making brilliant mistakes. After all, that's how we all get smarter in the end.